Okay, joining us in the Pacific Northwest early on a Sunday morning. Thanks very much, Catriona Harper. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. It's good to see you. It's been a long time. We've known each other quite a few years now.
Yeah.
So, first of all, massive congratulations on this Garmin Aviation sponsorship scholarship. Tell me about it. What is it?
So newer aircraft have very fancy avionics in them. So
Yes.
This is part of a glass cockpit, and it's a scholarship in how to use a glass cockpit called the Garmin 500, 600.
Amazing. And you've been flying helicopters a while. You got your private license in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and your commercial license last year.
Beginning of this year, very beginning, just in January. Yep.
So where are you? Are you in Oregon or Washington? Where exactly are you?
I'm in Seattle. I'm in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, this is going to lead towards you, hopefully, firefighting, right?
Yeah, that's my goal. That's what I really want to do.
Yeah. How did the helicopters start for you then?
I've always been interested in helicopters since a young age, I guess, seeing them flying over my house in Scotland. And I always wanted to fly them.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Seattle, I had the opportunity to do a lesson. Actually, one of the investors in the wind tunnel has a helicopter, and he let me fly it to Oshkosh, which is a huge aviation show in Minnesota. No, Wisconsin. I forget. It's in Oshkosh. The place called Oshkosh. And after that, I just put down $15,000 to get my private license. I was like, this is it. I'm doing it.
Amazing, amazing. Did you find it? Was it instinctive, or did it the actual process with the whole way it's flown? Did it feel natural to you, or did it feel not natural? Because some people just pick it up straight away, don't they?
Helicopter flying's a little bit more tricky. I think it's very similar to flying head down in the tunnel.
Right.
Have you learned to fly head down in the tunnel?
I've bounced off the walls, back flying, and that's about as far as I've got, Kat.
It's very similar because you have the same number of, you have to like forward balance your x-axis and your y-axis.
Yeah. And
most people spend a couple of hours just on the net before they're ever able to hover.
Yes.
It's exactly the same in a helicopter. You spend like 15 hours going, this is not working. Why is it not working? And then one day it just clicks and you don't know why it was so hard before. And then I don't know. So I don't know how to describe it. It's like that. It's very similar. Or like belly flying in the wind.
Like some kind of muscle memory takes over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Incredible. Did you do any fixed wing before helicopters, before rotors?
No, I've always just been obsessed with helicopters. I've done a little bit. I got to fly in a extra 300. It's
nice.
Like a very fast aircraft.
Yeah.
It was part of the air show display team called BMW Oracle.
Yeah. So
that's my aircraft I've been in.
So where were you born, Kat? I know you were in Scotland. Whereabouts was it?
Inverness, up north.
Yeah.
Where about yourself? You're from
Manchester originally.
Manchester. Oh, I worked in the tunnel in Manchester too.
That's right. I think that's where we met. Well, actually, I'm not.
No, that's not true. St. Andrews.
Bravo. Was it St. Andrews?
Yeah. Do you remember there was a?
When I got hypnotized.
Yes, I was going to say there was a hypnotist in your office in Andrews.
Yeah. That was a great weekend.
That was a good weekend.
That must have been, that's before I went to Imperial Brava, and I went there in 2004.
I was going to say, I think it was 2004 or 2003.
Might have been 3. Wow.
That's
so that's like, it's almost 20 years ago, isn't it?
I don't like to think about it, how long I've been jumping now.
My hairstyle's not changed at all in all those years. So how did you get
hair in 2003?
No, the last time I had hair was when I was about 26, so that would have been late 90s. It's been a long time ago. So how did you get into skydiving? Where did that come from?
University, all the great British skydivers. Went to university in Glasgow and joined I actually wanted to join the University Air Squadron, and I did my aptitudes and medicals for a Eurojet fighter, but because I was studying biology and not aeronautical engineering, they didn't want me, so I decided I would jump out of airplanes if I couldn't fly them.
Wow.
University.
So was that your initial idea then, to be in aviation as employment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always wanted to fly helicopters. I thought about joining the military to fly helicopters, but it's not guaranteed that you get to fly helicopters. So I was scared that I would end up enlisted for 4 years and not get to fly helicopters. So
right.
I didn't do it.
Did you ever think about astronaut training? Did that ever come to your mind?
No, but actually I have flown an astronaut costume from the Museum of Flight in the wind tunnel.
Have you?
Pretty close, yeah.
Where was that at?
That was in iFly Seattle.
How did you find it?
I had to hold the helmet on because it was just kind of like a replica. It was pretty funny.
So then you were jumping St Andrews, you started there, and then did you finish university up there before you moved on? What happened?
Yeah, I got my degree in biochemistry and then started skydiving as much as I could.
Yeah.
I moved to Spain. I worked in Spain for the summers, 2 summers, and then I was skydiving, snowboarding in the winter in the Alps. And then I found out about the wind tunnel when I got a job in Milton Keynes in 2008 because they needed a female instructor.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Dubai for a year. So I worked in the Crown Prince's tunnel in Dubai for a year, 2009, 2010. But that was before the drop zone was there. So that was a bummer.
Where were you in Spain? Were you in Madrid?
Close. I was in Lillo. So like an hour south of Madrid.
What were you doing there? Were you doing all of it?
Anything.
Yeah.
Manifesting. I actually got my tandem rating there in 2008. And then, started the wind tunnel right after. So I never really used it.
So Milton Keynes first, was it? Pardon?
I redid my tandem rating exactly like 10 years later. So like 2018 or 2019, I redid my tandem rating and started doing tandems again.
You're not still doing tandems now, are you?
Yeah, I'm still doing tandems. I have.
Are you?
It's all to pay for my helicopter lessons. I tell all my students, I'm like, this is to pay for my helicopter lessons. 4 tandems is an hour in the helicopter.
How many tandems have you done now?
Not too many, about probably 400.
Right. I would have thought you had done more. So you're in Milton Keynes. That's what that tunnel had just opened, hadn't it, when you went there?
Yeah, it was new.
How did the Dubai gig come about then? How did you get dragged into that?
Oh, I was always employed to work there. They needed a female instructor to go over and work there. So they were hiring specifically for that. So I just trained in Milton Keynes for 6 months and then went there for the year.
Oh, right. So you went to Milton Keynes because of Dubai.
At the time, I was the only tunnel in the UK by AirKix.
Yeah. There was a guy tried one a couple of years before, somewhere in the Midlands, an outdoor one. Do you remember that? Some guy tried to open one.
Was it one that was on the back of a truck, like a tiny one?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
So in Dubai, there was you, Freddie was there?
I think there was always kind of 3 AirKix instructors. It kind of rotated. The guys got to go out for 4 months at a time, and I got to stay out for the whole year. So Freddie was there.
Freddie,
and then Kermit, Fraser, Sean.
Yeah. Was Alan there? Alan Gayton, was he there at the time?
No, he never did get to come out, I don't think. I don't remember. Like forever ago. He was definitely working. I remember him working at AirKix in Milton Keynes, but he wasn't one of the instructors who came out to Dubai.
Are you allowed to talk about the Dubai tunnel, or is it all secret? You can't mention it.
I think so. He didn't sign anything.
All right. I was wondering, was it just for private use, or was there any paying clients there? No, was it just private?
No paying clients. It was just the Sheikh and his family and friends.
Yeah. And were people flying every day?
Yeah, it was pretty busy. It kind of just seemed to be almost like a daycare. The Sheikhs would just send their children there after school, and they would just turn up in their cars with their drivers and fly all day.
Oh, fantastic. How long were you there for then?
A year. I think the contract with AirKix was 1 year.
Did you enjoy it, Kat?
Yeah, it was awesome for a year. It was great. Such a good experience.
Did you get involved in Skydive Dubai or not when that opened?
That opened right as I was leaving, like right at the end of my contract, when they were like renegotiating who was going to run the tunnel after that. So,
and then it was it Manchester?
Yeah, I went back to Manchester because it was a 14-foot tunnel, and it didn't matter to me where I went back in the UK. So I was like, I'm going back to 11-foot and going to the 14.
So then, Manchester, I remember you being at Manchester. I remember when I was in Imperial Brava coming over to Manchester, and you were there. I think my sister came and did a flight as well. And then what happened after that? Where did you go after Manchester?
I met the owners of the Seattle tunnel there. They were opening exactly the same model, so they were coming over to see the Manchester tunnel.
Right.
And they were very keen to have a female instructor, so I made that contact. there, Manchester.
I
Then I
was
moved
there.
to,
I was in Portland actually. I flew in the Seattle tunnel. Now let me think when that was. That might have been 2016, maybe. When did you go over?
2012, 2013,
Right.
right as it opened.
Yeah. And then what happened after that?
I worked there. I got the opportunity to become a trainer. So I was working there. It was a franchise when I moved there, and then it got bought back by corporate in 2015. So I worked as a trainer, training the staff there from 2015 to 2019, I guess.
So I didn't realize the tunnels, they had that franchise bit and then the corporate bit. So
Very confusing.
yeah. Well, let's get to the helicopters then. That's what I want to talk about. So you got your license, and then were you working then after getting your license in helicopters, or how did it progress?
No, I'm still not working in helicopters. I think it's like this really common misconception. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're a commercial pilot. Are you getting a job there?" It's very similar, I think, to skydiving. It's like you've got 150 skydives, and you're like, "Oh, are you getting a job as a tandem instructor now?" You're like,
Yeah.
not even close. It's the same, very
Yeah.
similar numbers, I think, to skydiving.
Right.
So I've got like 150 hours, but you can kind of get employment more like when you've got 500,000 jumps. So we need 500,000 hours, but you can't get a job because you don't have enough jumps, and you can't get jumps because you can't get a job. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's interim.
So this scholarship's going to be a big help. Yeah. Like, does that include hours or what? How does it work?
The Whirly Girls are amazing. So you have to have your license in order to join. And they're just an association of female helicopter pilots. And they, I think they put like $250,000 worth of scholarships together a year.
Yeah.
And I've actually won 4 now. It's kind of crazy. So I won one, which was survival systems. Do you remember Blue Peter?
Yes, of course.
Do you remember all the crazy, usually military things that you got to do in the show?
I remember the helicopter turning upside down.
Yeah, that's what I got to do. I got to do that. I got to do that course, an egress course. So I did that. And then I won.
Is that like a rig? Is it a fixed machine? Or?
Yeah, so like on a crane, and they put it into the water, and they turn the lights off, and they make wind and wave and rain.
Wow. And how was it? Was it an easy thing to deal with? Or?
Well, I swam competitively as a child, so I wasn't like worried about doing it at all. But actually, it turns out, I don't know, you always like exhaust air from your nostrils to stop water going up your nostrils?
Yes.
When you're upside down, you run out of breath really quickly if you're exhaling through your nose. You have to just not do that and let the water go up your sinuses. So I actually kind of struggled with that a bit. I thought it was really easy. Yeah.
Were you wearing a flight suit, or what were you wearing at the time?
Just like boiler suits.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. So that was one award. What are the other ones you've got?
I won the Edward M. Thurn Scholarship, which is $15,000 towards advancing your aviation training. And I put that towards my instrument rating. And I went out to Hawaii for 3 weeks and got my instrument rating in 3 weeks.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. And so is that all of them now? Was there another one?
I'm going to get my commercial flight instructor rating so I can teach. And that's usually how most people build their hours, is by being a flight instructor.
Can you make any income on top of your hours doing that or not?
Maybe skydiving, doing tandems.
Right. Where did you jump? Where do you go?
Skydive Snohomish. It's like north of Seattle, 45 minutes.
Is it open yet? Is the weather good enough for jumping yet?
Oh yeah, they started jumping. I think they're about to start kind of full week operations. And I have actually done helicopter lessons up there too. They've got a helicopter school. It's actually why I started working there, because if I was staff, I got 15% off my aircraft rental.
Very nice, very nice. That's a clever way of doing it. So what's happening with your plans for the forest firefighting gig? How does that progress from now?
So last year I got furloughed from iFly. So I took a first responder job I got my truck license. I got my CDL truck driving license so I could drive a fuel truck with 1,500 gallons in it, chasing Hueys last year for the forest firefighting. So it's close to helicopters, but not quite flying them. So I did that for a season. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then now I'm working for a private company doing the same thing, actually ag spraying work. So I load the helicopter. It pays really well, but they actually let me fly the helicopter too a little bit.
Nice.
The hope is to transition from driver into the pilot seat.
And do you think it's going to be, you know, can you see it? Can you see a path forward to that? Kind of time scale?
So turbine aircraft are obviously really expensive to fly. So I should be able to build 1,500 hours with them and then go back to DNR, hopefully, and apply for a Huey position at DNR.
Fantastic. So how long have you been in the States now, Kat?
7 years.
Is it 7 years already? Yeah. Well, you've got a little bit of the accent.
Well, my family says I have very much of an accent. Says I think I sound American.
I'm just catching a little bit. So coming up then how is COVID affecting you guys? Is it making any hardships with your air sports, with flying or not?
It seems like they're managing. I mean, they've got very strict protocol in Snohomish where, you know, they take people's temperatures and they give them masks, but we're still operating. Good. The numbers are pretty good in Seattle. They're pretty strict. They're pretty good with their, I guess, prevention.
So for the rest of the spring now and the summer, tell me what your plan is. You're going to be tandems, right, at the drop zone? If
I get any time off work, I work like 3 weeks in a row, and then they give days off. So they're doing forestry work, spraying forests at the moment, and then they transition to drying cherries and doing kind of fertilization of fruits and vegetables in the summer, and then winter fertilization again, and then it's kind of winter off.
Fantastic. Oh, it sounds like you got a good plan. Well, listen, Kat, it's been great to catch up with you and to find out what you're up to. You're up to a lot of different things. I think with what have we covered there on it's air sports news. So we've had helicopter flying, we've had wind tunnel flying, skydiving. Was there anything else you've done in the sky?
No, I was going to say it's funny because my Whirly Girl number is 2020, and it's an awesome number. But I also thought 2020 was going to be like such an awesome year because I won the scholarship, and then I was supposed to go and fly out in Abu Dhabi. I got invited to fly with 15 females for the world record in Abu Dhabi, and then I was supposed to do the women's world record in Chicago. But yeah, none of that happened. But hopefully, eventually.
That's the women's world record skydiving. And the Abu Dhabi one was helicopter flying, or what was that?
No, that was for Project 19.
The
women's head down record.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Well, we'll keep in touch, and I'll be very excited to find out if you get on the helicopters with the firefighting. Let us know.
Take a bit of time, but I'll get there.
Right. Enjoy your Sunday, Kat, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.